Hi, good evening, everyone. Cabby is trying very hard to get into the to the build tonight, so you can probably hear just off to the side of me. So it's a little warm. I got the front door open. Hopefully, we don't get too much noise from outside. But let's just jump right into the build here. Hi, Nagawa. How are you, my friend? Thank you very much for stopping by. So we went ahead and put the tracks on both sides. You see, I've got the top on the bottom, but it's just sitting there. I didn't glue it down yet. We may or may not. I still haven't decided what I want to do. Yes, Charles, it is a little warm today. Not gonna lie. So the plan for this evening is to get through step 7, step 8, and you see step 9. They have the top of the bottom turret being glued to the bottom of the turret, the hull, being glued to the bottom of the hull. So we may end up doing that tonight anyway. Get through that, and then we've got a fuel tank to assemble, and then we got the side plates, and then some more of the detail that goes on here. But let's just go ahead and dive in to step 7. So what we got here, I've got these treads which I had clipped off earlier when I was putting the tracks on, that we're going to go ahead and, like I said, glue those on. Let's just take a quick look. Looks like they do go up this way. And there's 2 of them that are going to go into this area here. Okay. So I'm going to set the instructions aside for just a second. Actually, I like to keep them here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me clear off my workspace just a little bit over here. We'll keep the instructions right here, at least so you can see them to some degree. Hey, Eric, how are you, my friend? Hopefully it's not as warm on the East Coast as what we're dealing with here today. Although I'm not going to complain. Life could be worse. Alrighty, so pretty simple stuff. These are both going to get glued on here. Yeah, they're just going to set on there, so let's just put a little glue down. And I'm kind of excited for tomorrow night. We're going to have David Thompson on the postcards from the front. But we're going to be starting at 5 o'clock with that show tomorrow to accommodate David. I think he gets up early in the morning and works on game design. So let's go ahead and get these placed. Just a little bit of pressure there. There we go. Let's get caught up with the comments. This is doing well. Thank you. Hope the same for everyone else. Yep. Everybody just saying hi. Clear Wicks. Yeah. Yeah, you can't see what's off camera. We're not going to show that. 67 and rainy. Oh, wouldn't mind a little bit of rain. Not going to lie. That wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so now there's a couple of bits that go back here. We're going to go ahead and put those on right here. Little A4 action. So that's this bit here. Go ahead and get that snipped. So we're going to get as far as we can in about an hour. I think that's a good amount of time. It's just, especially for me, for Wednesday, this is a nice way to kind of get through hump day. I've tried to do the show where I'm not interfering with other people's shows. You can only do so much of that, right? I mean, at some point there might be a conflict, but the effort is there anyway. Let's go ahead and file this down. But for me, it's nice and relaxing to kind of just build some models. I gotta clip that a little closer. And there she goes up the door, yelling at me. She is vocal, I will say that. Both my cats are Siamese. So she jumped from the top of the door onto a plastic storage bin. That was that thud you heard. I actually set that up so she could do that because I got tired of getting up and going and getting her. Okay, let's dry fit these two parts. Let's just look. Looks like they're going to go along like so. Okay, let's see how that goes. Okay. So Nagewa, I saw your World War I model you built. You got anything else you're going to be putting on the table soon? Yeah, a lot of manufacturers, I think, do that. In case people don't want to paint, at least they've got the color of the plastic. It's maybe an excuse to just assemble everything and leave it as is. Okay, so this is where the tweezers would probably come in handy. I have a pair of tweezers. I just didn't grab them before I started today. Oh, there we go. I got that one in there. Okay, perfect. No, they are about 10 years apart. But yeah, they would be twins. Although I did see an article the other day where somebody was asking a question to, I think, pets in general, but they were talking about cats. Do they have twins? And I thought, I don't know if I've ever actually seen, at least with cats, twins. Now, I don't know why it couldn't happen. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little notch in there. So this is important that we get these kind of lined up. I'm actually glad I did this before gluing this to the bottom of the hull. Charles says, did a little hex encounter this morning with some window shopping for some critters for my future solitaire dungeon runs. I hope to do. Oh, cool. When you say shopping for some critters, I'm assuming you're talking about miniatures, my friend. Nagawa says, okay, thanks. Yes, I'm working on 172nd Volker. The one that were in Baron Flu. It also came with Lothar's color suggestions and decals. For those of you who don't know, Lothar, if I'm saying that correctly, was Manfred's brother. And he ended up with 40 confirmed kills, half what his brother got. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was shot down 2 or 3 times on Friday the 13th. I know at least twice. And I believe he survived the war. Okay, so we got those on. We did that. We got P9. So this part here, excuse me. So we do have 4 P sprues. So we're going to go ahead and clip those. And then it does say to go ahead, and you'll see that there are some imperfections that we're going to file off. Okay, let's go ahead and get all 4 of these clipped, and then we will get them filed and glued on. So I keep thinking about how I want to paint this. I'm bouncing between what I talked about early on, the one paint scheme that's in the box. The other is to go with my World of Tanks. I told you I played this. I play a Matilda. I have like 100+ tanks in World of Tanks, but one of them is a Matilda, and I've got some markings on it that are part of what the game gives you. So they're not historical by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm actually thinking of painting one up with my World of Tanks colors on it. That would be rather unique, I think. Okay, let's take a look-see. Go nice and flat. We still have a little bit left here on the sides. Let's go ahead and... So I picked up a bunch of these files. Actually, this set here, you'll see the shape. I'll see if I can find it, but I got it on eBay. Excuse me, Amazon. And it came in all sorts of textures, right? Grits. Some of them are pretty fine. Okay. One done. Yeah, I think the fiddly bit is just part of the hobby, right? Oh, let me get caught up with some of these. Yep, toad spiders and other crawly things. Cool. Still need to finish those goblins. He says they're just so fit. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's fiddly. Okay. So I have an idea for a diorama for World War I dogfight that at some point I'm going to do here on the channel, on the Builds channel anyway. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to get her done. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I wanted to wait. I didn't want to do some crappy builds and kind of waste the diorama on crappy builds. But I think it's going to be 1/72nd scale because I've got 2 aircraft doing a dogfight. I need some space, right? I don't want it to be too large. Okay, nice. And then again, just take off a little bit on the side here. So the plan, at least for this channel, is on Wednesdays to do a live build like we're doing here today of a kit. And then I will put up some videos of other builds that I've done that I'm not doing live that I can edit. So I can get a little variation as to the content I put on the channel so that everything isn't live and everything isn't edited and in the can, as it were. Like I said, this really, for me, this hour of building this is good for my mental health. Okay, so we've got these 4 bits that go on the back. They're independent. It looks like they might slot. Oh, there they go. Yeah. So dry fit, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 2 larger ones which are on another sprue, but they don't say to put them on yet. Just as well. Okay. Charles was talking about the assembly of his goblins. Now, for me, when I assemble minis, I almost habitually want to pin everything. And one of the things that I really like about my 3D printer is I'll go into Blender and I will assemble models in Blender so that they print already assembled, right? Air quotes. Okay, let's make sure I face these the right way. Yeah, I need practice with tweezers. See, a dry fade, it goes on fine. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm also, with this particular kit, I am going to hand paint pretty much the whole thing. I had a buddy send me an airbrush with a hose, but I don't have a good compressor. So I'm not even going to try to use an airbrush until I get a compressor. Oh, there he goes, snap down. Okay, that's what I was waiting to feel. I probably should have glued these just as I put them on, but that's okay. There we go. Pops right in, nice. And the last one of these. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to just check the instructions here. Oh, that's weird. I'm looking to see when to put those other parts on, and honestly, I don't see it. Oh, there they are, step 8. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and snip them and put them on there now. Well, let me snip them and prep them. Basically, they're the same shape part, just a little bit larger. Nothing overly fancy. Do not get lost in there. Oh, gesso? Oh, interesting. I use gesso when the painting behind me. A lot of the texture is gesso, gesso, however you pronounce it. Okay. So just to make sure, I'm going to glue this on in the sequence that it says, even though it probably doesn't matter. With my luck, I'll glue them on, then find out they don't fit because something needed to go on before them. Our granddaughter popped the screen out of the window, which is I had to push it back in place because she killed a fly. Nice. Yeah, my granddaughter's been on the stream before, and yeah, they are treasures. They are treasures. How old's your granddaughter, Charles? Mine is 4. Not -4. My granddaughter is 4. Okay. So we've got, for the rest of this, we got a couple of, let's see. Can't quite see that, but a couple of bits there. A couple of bits there. We've already done that. Then that'll be the end of step 7. Okay. P4. There's the P. I'm looking for the 4. Here it is. Okay. hold that so it doesn't go flying across the room. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to tomorrow talking to David. And like I said, we're going to start at 5 to fit into his schedule, which I have absolutely no problem doing. Okay, so let's gotta be careful. Yeah, this is fiddly, and there's just a little bit on these edges. Not sure I'm gonna be able to get that off easily. Okay, we're just gonna try. So I'm trying to decide if I want to glue this on the lower hull together before I try to paint the tops of these treads, because I'm not going to be able to get to them once I do it. And I think it kind of goes along the lines of, a lot of people when they're building aircraft, they will do all the detail work in the cockpit knowing that that cockpit's going to be closed up and you can't see it. And that's kind of a rite of passage, I think, in model building. So I'm debating on whether I want to slow down, start working on my patience, and part of me just wants to build this kit as quickly as possible. But I'm trying to get my skills up because at some point I want to do some really intricate, detailed masterclass level work. So I'm torn between going fast to get it done and slowing down to work on my skills. And the only way of getting those skills is by practicing, right? Okay, so now okay, you guys saw everything, right? Where did that bit, I'm missing? Oh, there it is. Underneath, okay. So it goes on the front, it looks like, yeah, right down in there, there's a little groove. You can't quite see it, but again, this is where the tweezers would come in handy. Let me orientate these, at least so when I pick them up, I know they're going to go in the right way. Okay, done. We'll glue these on one at a time. Eldest is 9. She shares the birthday with her dad. Little one is February, 3.5. So my oldest daughter is February. My youngest daughter is in December. My birthday is actually tomorrow. But I'm officially old, so we don't count them anymore. Oh, that went in nice. I will say these Tamiya kits, they do a good job. I've had no complaints so far. Okay. There we go. Yeah, see my track's that one is a little skewed, but it's already glued down. Oh well. Okay. So now we have got both of these are on C34. I'm doing the shovel and the crowbar. What do we got here? Right here. Is that 22? No, it's 48. So 34. Yes, okay. Let's go ahead and get that. Gava says, I wonder if line building would help develop skills. They say that they're very similar models and you work on the same sequence of the build. So you get practice 3 times in a row before moving on. Oh, that makes sense. Kind of an assembly line. Thank you, boss. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of whether I want to go in and paint this stuff and get used to assembling parts that have been pre-painted, because when you get to doing some of that master class stuff, you need to be able to do sub-assemblies, paint some of them, and glue them together, right? I mean, that's pretty standard when you look at what some of these people are doing. Okay, C48 right here. Boy, that's a thin bit too. Just as well. Okay. Yeah. If that shot across the room, we'd not be on the build. It's just that simple. Okay. So that one's going to go right in here. Yeah, easy peasy. Also, the other thing, going back to the paint scheme, if I go with my World of Tanks, I'm not going to have to worry about being historically accurate with the paint scheme, because clearly it is not. Not that I should fret over any of that. Oh, of course. Okay, I can't tell if that's the, yeah, no, that's the way it is. Okay. I was wondering if I had to go in and actually do some filing there, but I don't. And that's going to go right there. Nice. Again, this is where tweezers would be helpful. Okay. Let's just push this a little bit. There. Oh, look at that. See? Right here. That wants to, let's just rotate that. And go in there. Now I've got it where it needs to go. Just hold it. There we go. Okay. Nice. We got that done. And just a little dab and yep. Perfect. So, although that doesn't look like it's, looks like it might be a little off, but that's okay. This one's perfect. Although I did get it, be careful what I say, I did get it in the hole. Alrighty. So, we assembled these 4 parts. We put that on. We got these on the back put in, as you can see. Nice. Everything looks lined up perfectly fine. Double check, and that's 7. So we go on to 8. And 8 has the P4s, like the ones there, going on the back. Yep, okay. So let's go ahead and grab those. It should be on this sprue here. Yeah, 1, 2, got them both, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to invest in a really good pair of snips. I'm a big proponent of having good quality tools. Now, having said that, these have worked pretty fine for the most part. So I'm not sure I need to do it just because. Charles says he's a November Scorpion. Fit the definition perfectly. Okay. Oh, look at there. We got 2 Scorpions. I wonder if we can pit them against each other in an arena, a scorpion fight. I'm not sure who my money would be on, though. It might be a draw. You got me tempted to try and build one of the 1/100 Soviet armored vehicle kits I have. Just 13 pieces. Hey, boss, do it. Get her done. It's 13 pieces. It's 13 pieces. You could knock that out, do a quick little video for your channel. Not that you don't have a lot of projects going on already. I know this. There we go. Yeah, this was best to just go ahead and snip these on the side. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing to just be a little disciplined is to, because I have a small pile of model kits, not a lot. I'm not crazy. Maybe 10, maybe. But to build those before I buy anything new. You know what? You do. You do. And you've got names for at least 2 of them. I don't have a home printer, but if I did, I would definitely do that. I would love to have my channel logo that I could put on some of these kits that I'm building, just, for fun. 144 World War I and World War II planes. That's a bit small. I mean, for a kit, anyway. Oh, see, now I put the glue in the wrong spot. Okay, that's fine. That's not going to be destructive. Now, that tester's glue when we were kids, ooh. Yeah. That would have been a problem. Okay, let's go ahead and boom. See, look at that. Beautiful fit. Again, Tamiya makes nice kits. I forgot what I paid for this. It wasn't overly expensive. You know what? I have to go look because it's in my my video on our haul from the hobby store. This was one of the kits I picked up that day. My ivy plant is named after Charles. Oh, way to go. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the spring is even gone with these, and there's a little rust. I've got 2 pair like this, right? I got them in some, well, I guess there's the spring thingy. Just not motivated to spring. It's kind of like me these days. Okay, what do we got here? We got that in. Let's just check our instructions. Okay, so now we've got these bits to go on and A10. There are 2 of them, 2 A10s. Let's find A10. Make sure this is the A sprue. Oh, this is the C sprue, so we're not going to find them there. There we go. A10. Easy peasy. Go ahead and get those bits filed. Let's just double check before I go filing them. Yeah. We don't need that. Nice. So I'm going to hand paint this whole thing. I may go ahead and put, once this top goes on, probably before the next Wednesday, because we'll get this glued on tonight. What I'll do is I'll end up taking this and washing it with a little hand soap. And I have a special toothbrush that I use to wash my models. And looking at the bottom, I need the top. Okay, let's do a quick dry fit. But I'll go ahead and get those washed, and then I'll get the primer on them. Okay, so that's going to be just like the other ones. Yep, perfect. Okay. And then this will go, is there a facing on it? It looks rather symmetrical. Looks like it's going to go. Okay, like so. Yeah. All right. Dry fit done. I will say this method of gluing with this little brush and using this extra thin cement, this is a godsend in building, as opposed to using the testers tubes that I used as a kid. Life is so much easier this way. Okay, that's going to have a positive fit. There it goes. I don't know if you heard that snap or not, but that's in there. Let's go ahead and get the next one on here as well. Bada bing, bada bang. Not a problem. Okay, let's just double check before I glue these on. Yeah, they look symmetrical. I don't think there's a front or a back. And they look like they go like so. Let me just check my instructions to see if I can see. Yep, got them right. Okay. So let's go ahead and like that. Put a little glue down here. Again, I'm loving this little brush and the viscosity of this glue. Okay, make sure that's right. Looking good. So there we go, guys. So what do we got next here? I'm starting to get my sprues stacked up on each other. Let me get them a bit organized. So we now have C49. So that's C here. Let's find the 49. That's this long, thin bit here. Just eyeballing that. I'm going to have to clean it up just a little bit. Okay. And then C33 right here. Okay. There we go. Well, with both you guys, hopefully we see some more builds on your channels. I enjoy seeing what other people do as well. Okay, let's hold that, snip that. There we go. Just took a little piece is all that was needed. Now, okay, you see there's, I don't know if you can see it. I always go the wrong way. Little indent there and there. Okay. And which part goes to the front? It goes like so. And there's the flat side. Okay. Easy peasy. Oh, great. Hold on, guys. Let me fix this. Somebody's calling me. This happened last time, too. Oh, Yosemite National Park. Yeah, probably not. Okay. Oh, sorry for that. Let me get that reloaded. Okay. Oh, it hasn't come back up yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. There we go. It's back. Okay. Again, sorry for the unprofessionalness of this stream. It's still learning. Okay. I think we're back. Yeah, there we go. So the hobby store my friend Rob took me to on the weekend also has 1/16 plane kits. Nice. Well, you said you had Red Barons. Is it the triplane? Is that the Fulker 7? D7? Something like that? Okay, we got this bit to still glue on, which goes here. Does it matter? It doesn't seem to matter where the front is. Interesting, though, that kind of goes a little underneath. I don't think I needed any more glue. I'm still do that. Okay. That being putting too much glue on things. But let's go ahead and get that in here. Nice, easy. Slide that over. Oh. Come on, just settle down in the hole. There we go. I think that'll work. I want to press it, but it'll stick to my hands. You watch. Okay, again. So you see, this is just a little. It's like this one should have gone down first, but that's not what they had in the instructions. But okay, we're good. We are good. So if we look at this, that's those two parts, that goes there. They got some color guides, obviously. And then they have it going on. So now it's decision time. DR1, I think. See, Albatross is one of my, the lines of the Albatross was one of my favorite World War I aircraft. I think I've got an Albatross kit. I got one or two Albatross kits. But I was saying earlier, I plan on building all the kits before I buy any new ones. So we're going to do that. I think I am going to go ahead and glue this, guys. Because what's going to happen, let me pull out one of my side skirts here, just so you can get a sense. Okay, I think this is the way this one goes. So this is going to go up in here like, no. it's going to go up in here like so, okay? And when I do that, which is in a step or two, you can't even see the top of those treads. So anything I paint would be totally lost. So all I'm really going to be able to see is the bottom half here. So even if I glue this on, I can get and paint everything that's going to be seen. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, at least on this build. So we're going to go ahead. Now, as I told you before, because of the box, this was slightly bent in. And you can't quite see. Let me, again, wrong way. So you can see down in here when I filed this, that little groove, you see that that's kind of been destroyed a little, some of the detail. No one's going to see that unless this was in some sort of dog show. Those judges don't miss a thing. So we're going to put a little glue up underneath here, a little right along that edge, and a little along these two edges. That should be enough to hold everything. So let's get it set. I think we're good. A DH-4 Liberty fighter bomber. It's a Brit design plane that was adapted by American and used as a Liberty engine instead of the Rolls-Royce. I hope I get to watch more of these build episodes as I can pick up pointers big time. Hey, well, we'll share them. I'm sure there's things you can do. You might teach me some things. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to make Wednesdays a build day. I'll have a kit that I'm working on, and then other kits that I'm going to be building during the week or, over time. I've got some 3D printed. I got a huge 3D printed tank that I'm working on a video on. So I'll have some edited videos and some live content. And when we get closer to the finish of this build, I'm going to do an aircraft 1/72nd scale World War II airplane next, but we'll talk about that when we get closer to the time. Okay. So this thing is not going to glue itself, right? Okay, that's a little different. I've been saying I'm not going to buy any more stuff until I've played with everything. Right. Sure, not likely. Okay, let me be clear. I'm talking about plastic models. I may or may not be successful, but I'm going to try to build all the kits I have currently before I buy any more. Now, once I do that, we'll reevaluate that strategy going forward. You probably want to see what I'm doing here. See, now that bled off, but I don't think that that's going to cause too many problems because some of that I can probably just buff that off or cover it with grime, right? Because we're going to weather this. So I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to let it dry. So I'm not going to try to dab it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let it dry. And then once it's dry, we'll worry about what we're going to do to correct that over application of glue. Okay, let's go get these two parts. Again, the capillary action will run through these. And I will learn if I'm putting too much on. So let's go ahead and pinch that. Nice. And let's pinch this one. I'm trying to keep my fingers off the glue. We don't need fingerprints, right? I think that's going to look okay. My model shells of shame is embarrassing. Hey, we're probably from the same group there, my friend. Okay, let's be very clear, Agewa. I have no plans to quit drinking beer or whiskey or scotch. Let's put it that way. Now, I don't drink in excess. I drink because I like the taste, but I have no plans. Okay, I've added a little more. Again, this is me. I'm probably already had enough. Not whiskey. We're going to go ahead and hold that for a second because it had started to separate a little bit. So we're going to let again, patience. So I've got the front, the leading edge glued in these two parts, and then we'll go attach the back part. Now I've dry fit this a number of times, so I know everything fits pretty well. But this will get us, we're almost at an hour. We got another 10 minutes. But this will get us through steps 7, 8, and 9, which is what the goal for this evening was. Okay, so let me just set that down. And so far, the only tools I've been using are the X-Acto. Now, I've got, as any good hobbyist, I've got a lot of blades. This is a cheap handle. I've got a better one somewhere. This is the only one I found. I learned early on, you want to work with a sharp blade. Sharp blades, you cut yourself less. Once they get dull and you start trying to force it, that's when they're still sharp enough to make you bleed. But probably not sharp enough to do the job. So this one's fine for what I'm doing here. Next show, I'll toss this and we'll have a new blade. I've got the 2 files and the ancient snips and the glue. So that's all I'm using today. And so far, that's pretty much all I've used on this build. So you don't need a lot of tools to get, if you're on the fence about doing a hobby, getting back into building models, or if you've never built them, I would recommend getting yourself. Now, some people are going to tell you get the bigger models, so you're not dealing with all the fiddliness. And there's some truth to that, and some value in that advice. And I think that really depends on you as a modeler. The reason I didn't go that route when I got back in is because I could get these 1/72nd scale kits in a lot of cases for like $10, $10-12, especially the aircraft. And if I screwed them up, it wasn't like I just dropped $40 or $50 on a 1/35th scale model. And again, this is 1/48 scale, so it's a little cheaper than the 1/35th typically. There you go, Charles. Just jump on it and get them done one at a time. One at a time, my friend. Okay, so we've got that little seal in there. Should be fine. Okay. You see, it's not perfect. That's okay. So that's going to dry. So 10, fuel tank.
I got experience in that, I can tell you about
C25, A6. Let's take a look. We can start building the
my parents are
C25.
I don't know if they
Let's go. So that's 39. Yeah, that's 1 bit. Okay, these 2 parts here. Let's slide that over. Let that dry. Go ahead and. Oh, we don't want that flying anywhere. Okay, let's go ahead and file this. So we'll get this started. I'll probably finish this bit off camera. There we go, come on. Nice. Okay. Yeah, see this, that's what we're going to get rid of right there. Again, these files are inexpensive. I got a kit of, I don't know, 15 of them, something like that. 10, 15 bucks. Okay, so we got those two. We got the end caps to go on. A6, A6. Okay, let's find our A sprue. So we have two A sprues. So I'm assuming that there's going to be two A6s. There's one here. Nice. And the other one is here. Okay, real quick with the file. Just get that little burr off of there. That doesn't take much work at all. Same thing here. Okay, so let's check our instructions. This looks symmetrical, so I'm assuming that this is just going to, having said that, there is a top and a bottom, or it appears that there's a top and a bottom. Let's rotate that. Yeah. Okay, so let's get our glue. I'm just going to run that right along that edge. And that should get down in there. I got to be careful, keep my fingers off of that. Let's do this side. Oh, now I can't even see. Okay, I can't even see the, and I can tell it's already stuck on my finger. That's what we want to avoid. Because we end up with that, which is fine. We can file that off. So right there is that edge. You can't even see it, at least I can't, but I know that it's there. So we're going to go ahead and put a little glue down on it. It'll sneak in there. Let's go ahead. Just stand that on its edge for a second there. Now, it looks like if you see this part, let me hold this. You see, is it going to focus? Let me get my hand behind it. Okay. You see those little nubs are not quite centered. So this is keyed to go in one way. So when you're assembling your parts, you always want to look for these little keys. Otherwise, you're going to not understand why a part isn't fitting nice and snug, right? So when we look in here, you can see that obviously it has a key. So that's going to go in kind of like that. Easy peasy. So let's go ahead and just put a little glue in here. Again, I'm going to say it, well-engineered part. And that should just fit down in there. There it goes. Oh. Okay. Not quite flush. See, I did not dry fit this. And the reason I say that is this would go in much easier, I'm sure, if I would have just gone around, and I'll do it on the other one, and just kind of filed around the edge. And did I get the key right? I thought I did. Maybe I had the key off. As I just went through all that explanation of how important it is, I probably didn't have it incorrect. Okay. So this is turning into be a little fiddly piece. Okay, so I'm going to just take that off for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other one because it's not going to matter. And very quickly, I'm going to file around the outside edge. Because nobody's going to see that this is that much smaller, right? Because I want this, it looks like it has a lip. And so this is going to be recessed. That's what I mean by a lip. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit off. Even if it's not perfectly round, nobody's going to see it when it's down in there. And again, if I do any type of weathering, it's going to fill in any little gaps. Okay. That's what I should have done with the other one instead of just gluing it in, is kind of get it to dry fit. So that probably still has a little glue in it. So let's just turn it over to this side and literally dry fit it. And then actually, if I get it in there, I can probably just glue it while it's, see, look, that fits so much nicer. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and drop the glue like so. So it's got a little bit of that lip. And that fits so much nicer. And that was just because I, one, paid attention to what I was doing, and two, just filed a little bit of this down to make it so that it was going to go fit in easier. So let's go ahead and do that here. I am getting a little bit of the plastic coming off that's melted, but that's okay. Again, nobody's going to see what little imperfections there are here. So if you are the type that does not like imperfections, just know that that's part of the process, and it's just a matter of how you hide them and deal with them. Okay. Hey, Mike. Thanks for stopping by, boss. Okay, so that's probably going to be the same, I would imagine. Let's just take a quick look. Again, with the dry fit, actually it will. Although I've got dry glue in there now, right? Or a little bit, so it's not wanting to go as easy. But what did I just say? It's not going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get the glue and line it up, and nobody's going to know the difference. So you see that's slightly raised, so all I'm going to do is just and that's because I got some garbage in there I didn't clear out. And the key is not, it's not engaged. Oh, there. Okay, so I just rotated it a little bit and it looks like it's set. Okay, I'm fiddling with it. Now we'll just leave it alone. Alrighty, guys. Where are we at here? So that's this part of step 10. The next is C15. Where are we at? About 5 minutes over. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here in a second. I'm going to finish this off camera. And then next week, we will get into, oh, there's some fiddly work there. We'll get into the fiddly work next week on that. They've given me a piece of string to do 12, and then 13 looks like it finishes up some of the lower hull. And then we get the side bits and a little more of that. Yeah, and then 15 gets us to the, and then we start on the upper hull. Okay, So maybe next week we might be able to knock through. Maybe I'll do these fiddly bits off camera, or at least one of them. So that the goal will be that we can get to step 15 next week. So maybe next week we'll go a little bit longer. What did he say? Oh, yeah, fiddly bits. No problem, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And again, I want to see your Volker. See it up on there. Yeah, I'm gonna finish fiddling my bits off camera. I don't think anybody wants to see me fiddling my bits. Let's be honest. Yeah, he shoots, he scores. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to watch what I'm doing here, building these kits. Like I said, this is a good relaxing hour. I'm going to let some of this glue dry. I'm going to finish this up probably tonight. And like I said, when we come back next week, we'll try to get the hull, lower hull finished to a point where maybe I can start priming it, and then we can start the upper hull. Yeah, Charles. See, he's having fun with his fiddly bits as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you all next week. If I can get this to finish, I still double-click things.